Right now is the perfect moment to make a decision that could change everything for you. If you've been searching for that spark to ignite real transformation, you're in the right place. It's time to stop waiting for the world to align in your favor, because the truth is, the power to change your life has always been in your hands. The key to unlocking your potential isn't found in someone else's path, it's found when you choose to focus on yourself. This isn't just another video telling you to chase your dreams. This is a call to take control of your journey, to tap into the strength and resilience that already live inside of you. In this video, we're going to dive deep into how you can shape your life with the power of daily action, unwavering discipline, and a mindset that propels you forward no matter the challenges. The road to real success isn't about luck or waiting for things to magically fall into place. It's about putting in the work, changing your habits, and focusing on the one thing that makes everything else possible. So get ready to unlock the best version of yourself. The transformation begins now, and it all starts with focusing on yourself. Let's dive in. Chapter 1: Awaken Your Inner Potential. The truth is, we all carry within us the power to change our lives. We've all heard it before, but deep down, most of us don't truly believe it. The idea that we could transform our reality, that we could tap into a level of greatness we haven't yet reached, feels distant and out of reach for many. We often look at others and wonder, how did they get there? What do they have that I don't? But what if I told you that the only thing standing between you and the success you desire is realizing that the power to achieve it has always been within you? It doesn't matter where you are in life right now or how many times you've tried and failed before. The truth is that you are capable of so much more than you've been taught to believe. The potential to create the life you've always dreamed of is locked away inside you, waiting for you to step into it. You don't have to wait for the right time, and you don't need anyone's permission to start. The key to unlocking this potential lies in the awareness that it's already there. Too often, we underestimate the power we hold. We look at our current circumstances, our limitations, and think that they define us. We forget that circumstances are just that, temporary conditions that can be changed. Our beliefs, however, are what shape those circumstances. If you think you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. If you believe there's more for you, that belief will push you toward action. The potential inside you is like a muscle, it needs to be nurtured, cultivated, and developed. The first step to unlocking your inner potential is to realize that you've been holding the key all along. That's right, everything you need is already within your grasp. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment, nor is it about some outside event or person coming into your life to make things better. The only thing standing between you and your potential is you. The most important thing you can do right now is to stop waiting and start believing. Believe that you have everything it takes. The next step is the most crucial one: awaken that belief. Breathe life into it, and watch what happens. To begin this journey, it's necessary to go inward. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of life, the expectations of others, the distractions of modern society, and the constant pressure to keep up. But none of that will help you grow. What will help you grow is the practice of self-awareness and reflection. Start with the simple act of looking within you. Need to ask yourself, what do I want out of life? Not what others want for you, not what society expects from you, but what you truly desire deep in your soul. Your potential is tied to what you truly want, not what you've been conditioned to think you should want. When you start becoming aware of your own desires, your purpose begins to take shape. This process doesn't happen overnight, and it isn't always easy, but every step you take toward understanding yourself is a step toward realizing your true potential. It's not about forcing things or rushing through the process, it's about letting the journey unfold naturally and trusting that each moment is a building block to your growth. As you explore your desires and uncover what drives you, one thing will become clear: the fear of failure is one of the biggest barriers to unlocking your potential. The fear of not being good enough, of falling short, or of failing altogether often holds us back from taking that first step. But the truth is, failure isn't the enemy. In fact, it's often the best teacher we have. Failure teaches us lessons we can't learn any other way. It shows us where we need to grow, and it challenges us to rise above our doubts. The fear of failure only holds power if you let it. What if, instead of fearing failure, you embraced it as part of your journey? What if you stopped seeing it as a roadblock and started seeing it as a stepping stone? The people who achieve great things aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who keep going in spite of failure. It's the resilience to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles, that sets them apart. And the beautiful part? You can do this too. The power to overcome and keep pushing forward is something you can tap into every single day. The second key to awakening your inner potential is realizing that everything you want is already within your reach. You don't need to wait for the right time or for some magical external change to occur. Everything you need to move forward is already inside you. The most successful people didn't wait for the world to hand them success, they created it by believing in themselves and taking consistent action. Belief in yourself doesn't mean you have all the answers, and it doesn't mean that you won't encounter setbacks. But what it does mean is that you trust in your ability to figure things out as you go. When you believe in your own capabilities, you stop seeing obstacles as threats and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. The more you practice this mindset, the stronger your belief becomes, and the easier it is to take bold action. As you begin to awaken this inner power, one thing that will serve you well is cultivating the habit of daily action. It's not enough to simply think about change, you have to act on it every single day. Even if you can only dedicate a small amount of time to working on your goals each day, it adds up over time. These small, consistent actions compound into big results. It's like planting seeds in the ground. You may not see immediate growth, but with patience and consistent effort, your efforts will eventually bear fruit. This daily action builds momentum, and that momentum carries you forward. You'll start to see progress where there was none before. You'll realize that the person you were yesterday is not the person you are today, and that's a beautiful thing. Each day you take action, you grow. Each day you show up for yourself, you build the foundation for a stronger, more resilient version of you. Awakening your inner potential isn't about reaching some distant destination, it's about starting the journey of becoming the best version of yourself and doing it one day at a time. It's about tapping into that deep reservoir of strength you have within you and realizing that you don't need to wait for permission or validation from anyone else. You are enough exactly as you are right now. The journey will never be perfect, but it will always be worth it. So how do you awaken your inner potential? It begins with believing in yourself and taking consistent, intentional action. It's about looking inward, discovering your desires, and having the courage to pursue them no matter what. You are more than capable of achieving greatness if you just take the first step and trust that you have everything inside you to succeed. When you look in the mirror, see yourself as a person who is capable of creating the life they want. See yourself as the person who doesn't wait for things to happen but instead makes things happen. Believe in your ability to transform your life and start taking action today. The power to change is already within you, and the only thing left to do is to step into it. The rest of the journey will unfold in beautiful and unexpected ways as long as you keep moving forward with trust and courage. Awaken your potential. It's waiting for you. All you need to do is believe, take action, and never look back. Chapter 2: Define your personal vision. To change your life, you first have to decide what you want. It's not about just following the flow or drifting along with whatever life throws at you. No, it's about taking the reins, being intentional, and defining exactly what it is that you're after. You see, so many of us go through life without a clear vision. We wake up, go through the motions, and hope that one day something will just click. But that's not how change works. Change happens when you make a conscious decision to create it, and the first step to that is having a vision. A vision gives you a reason to get up in the morning. It gives you something to aim for, something to focus on, something that pulls you forward even on the tough days. Without it, you're like a ship without a sail, drifting aimlessly at the mercy of whatever winds come your way. But when you have a clear vision, you've set your course, and now the wind can work in your favor. The storms may still come, but you'll have a sense of direction to guide you through them. Too often, we don't stop to think about what we truly want. We get caught up in the day-to-day grind, focusing on the immediate, what needs to be done right now, what problems we need to solve, and what others expect from us. But what happens is we start living on autopilot. We react to life rather than proactively shaping it. That's why it's so crucial to take a step back and ask yourself, what do I truly want from life? This is where so many people get stuck. They don't know what they want, so they end up chasing everything, but none of it truly fulfills them. They're trying to please others, chasing after the success that society tells them they should want, but they're not building a life they actually love. The key here is authenticity. You can't build a meaningful life based on what someone else thinks is important. You have to tune out the noise and tune into what you want, what you are truly passionate about. Only then can you begin to craft a vision that is not only powerful but also deeply aligned with who you are. Creating a personal vision is about clarity. It's about knowing what your heart truly desires. It's not about what looks good on paper or what other people expect from you. It's about peeling back all the layers of outside influence and asking yourself, what do I want? The answers might not come all at once, but that's okay. Start with what you know. Think about what excites you, what you would love to wake up every day working toward. Maybe it's building a business, writing a book, traveling the world, or living a life of service. Maybe it's something simpler, spending more time with your family, getting healthy, or mastering a craft. Whatever it is, get clear on it. The more specific you can be, the better. The clearer your vision, the easier it will be to make decisions and take action. Now, creating a vision isn't just about writing down a list of things you want. It's about really visualizing your life, truly experiencing in your mind what it would feel like to live the life you want. You need to connect emotionally to your vision. Imagine how you'll feel once you've achieved those goals. How will you carry yourself? What will your environment look like? How will your relationships change? The more vivid and emotional your vision, the more powerful it becomes. It's not just a list of things you want, it's a life you're ready to live. And the more deeply you connect with it, the more motivated and inspired you will feel to make it a reality. Once you've created this vision, it's time to make it real. The problem is, many people get stuck at this point. They create a vision, but then they don't take action. They get overwhelmed by the enormity of the task ahead, or they don't know where to begin. And I get it. It's easy to feel like your dreams are too big or too far out of reach. But that's where so many people go wrong. They look at the end goal and let the distance between where they are now and where they want to be paralyze them. Instead of looking at the whole picture, break it down into small, manageable steps. Every massive achievement begins with a small, simple action. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't is that the achievers don't wait for the perfect moment. They start right where they are. If you want to be a successful writer, start writing. Every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes, if you want to be healthier, start moving your body daily, even if it's just a walk around the block. No one gets to the top without taking that first step, and no one stays there without consistently moving forward. The secret to achieving anything is consistency. It's the small actions compounded over time that lead to massive transformation. But even with consistency, there will be times when the journey feels hard, when things don't go according to plan, or when you encounter obstacles that make you question whether it's all worth it. And here's the thing, that's normal. Everyone faces setbacks, even the most successful people. It's not the setbacks that define you. It's how you respond to them. Your vision will be tested. The path to your dreams is not always a straight line. There will be bumps, detours, and failures, but each of these is an opportunity to learn and grow. It's how you handle the tough moments that determine whether you keep moving toward your vision or get discouraged and quit. The key is to keep your vision at the forefront of your mind. When times get tough, remember why you started. Remember the feeling of what it will be like to live the life you've always dreamed of. Visualize that feeling in your body and let it pull you forward. When you know exactly what you want, when you've connected emotionally with that vision, you will find the strength to keep going even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. This is where your personal resilience comes into play. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardship, it's about knowing that no matter what happens, you will bounce back and keep moving forward. It's about recognizing that challenges are part of the process, and they don't define your worth or your ability. To succeed, what matters is your ability to get back up, readjust, and keep going. Your vision should be so compelling, so important to you, that no setback can make you give up. It's your driving force, your fuel for the journey. As you move forward, don't forget to celebrate small victories along the way. You might not be at your ultimate goal yet, but every step you take is a step towards something incredible. Acknowledge the progress you've made, no matter how small it might seem. This not only boosts your confidence, but it also keeps you motivated to continue. Remember, every single day that you take action is a step closer to your dream. It's in those small, consistent actions that your big vision will come to life. Creating a vision for your life is not a one-time exercise, it's a continuous process. As you grow and evolve, so too will your vision. Your desires and goals will shift, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep aligning your actions with what you truly want, to keep adjusting your course when necessary, and to never lose sight of the bigger picture. When you have a clear vision, a vision that excites you and pushes you forward, you will always have a reason to keep going, no matter the obstacles. The life you want is possible, you just have to decide to make it happen, and that decision starts with having a clear, powerful vision of what you truly want out of life. Chapter 3: Master the Power of Discipline. The foundation of any meaningful change in life comes down to one core principle: discipline. If you want to achieve greatness, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to master discipline. It's not just a concept, not just something to think about, it's a way of life. It's the thing that separates those who succeed from those who simply dream. Without discipline, even the clearest vision can become blurry. And the hardest goals may seem impossible, but with discipline, everything becomes possible. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Now let me tell you something, discipline isn't about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. It's not about punishment, and it's definitely not about rigid rules that make life feel like a grind. Discipline is about making intentional, powerful choices that align with your highest values and deepest goals. It's about showing up day in and day out, even when motivation fades. And believe me, motivation will fade, it's natural, we're human. But discipline is what keeps you going when motivation is nowhere to be found. When you truly understand discipline, you realize that it's not a limitation, it's the path to freedom. Think about it, every time you make a disciplined choice, you're creating more freedom for yourself in the future. Every small act of discipline is like a deposit into a bank account that pays off later in ways you can't even imagine yet. The people who are successful, the ones who achieve their goals, are the ones who choose to take disciplined action even when the results are invisible in the moment. They know that consistency will eventually pay off. But here's the thing, discipline isn't easy. If it were, everyone would have it, and everyone would be achieving their dreams. But the reality is that most people struggle with it. They start strong, full of energy and enthusiasm, but then life happens. They get tired, they get distracted, they face challenges that make it easier to quit than to keep going. But let me tell you this, if you want to achieve anything of real value in your life, you have to get comfortable with discomfort. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done even when it's uncomfortable. It's about pushing through the resistance. Even when every part of you wants to quit, the more you do this, the easier it becomes to do it again tomorrow. Building discipline is like building a muscle. At first, it's going to feel hard. You're not going to see results immediately. You might even feel like it's not worth it. But just like any muscle, the more you work it, the stronger it gets. It's the repetition, the consistency that builds strength. Over time, what felt hard becomes second nature. It's no longer a battle to make the right choice, it's just who you are. You don't have to think about it, it's part of your identity now. Here's where many people go wrong: they think that discipline is something you either have or you don't. They think it's an inherent trait, a gift given to a lucky few. But let me tell you, discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed. It's not about being born with it, it's about committing to it day after day. It's about choosing to act in alignment with your highest goals, no matter how you feel in the moment. And the more you practice it, the stronger you'll get. The first step in developing discipline is clarity. You have to know exactly what you're working toward. If you don't have a clear vision, how can you stay disciplined? You have to know what you're sacrificing for. You have to understand the value of the long-term benefits of your actions. When you have clarity on your goals, discipline becomes so much easier. You know why you're waking up early to work on your side hustle, why you're saying no to distractions, and why you're pushing yourself even when your body is screaming for rest. You're doing it for something greater than the momentary discomfort. The second step in building discipline is consistency. Consistency is the real key to discipline. It's about showing up every day, no matter how small. The steps are: you don't need to take massive action every day. In fact, trying to do too much too soon can actually lead to burnout. But you do need to show up consistently. If you're trying to build a new habit, the trick is to do it every single day, even if it's just a small action. Little by little, those actions will add up. You'll be surprised by how much progress you can make just by committing to doing something every single day. It's also important to understand that discipline is not about perfection. Too many people make the mistake of thinking that if they slip up once, it's over. They fall off track, miss a workout, or forget to work on their goals for a day, and they think they've ruined everything. That's simply not true. The key to discipline is not perfection, it's persistence. It's about getting back on track as quickly as possible when you slip up. Life is messy, and you're going to face setbacks. But if you're disciplined enough to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward, you'll eventually achieve everything you set out to do. One of the biggest obstacles to discipline is procrastination. We've all been there, putting off something because it feels too overwhelming, too difficult, or simply because we don't feel like it. But procrastination is a killer of dreams. The longer you put things off, the more you push your goals into the future, and the further away they seem. The key to overcoming procrastination is to break things down into smaller, manageable chunks. Instead of focusing on the huge task ahead, focus on the next small step. What can you do right now? What can you do today to move closer to your goal? Once you take that first step, momentum kicks in, and the rest becomes easier. Another thing to keep in mind is that your environment plays a huge role in your discipline. If you want to stay disciplined, you have to set yourself up for success. That means eliminating distractions, creating systems that support your goals, and surrounding yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. If you're constantly surrounded by temptation, whether it's unhealthy food, negative influences, or distractions that keep you from focusing, it's going to be much harder to stay disciplined. Set your environment up in a way that makes discipline the easiest choice. And here's a crucial point: don't rely on motivation to get you through the tough times. Motivation is fleeting, it's a feeling, not a strategy. Some days you'll be motivated to crush your goals, other days you'll want to hide under the covers and avoid everything. But discipline isn't dependent on how you feel. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. If you rely on motivation, you'll end up waiting for the perfect moment, and that moment will never come. Instead, discipline is about doing it because you know it's the right thing to do. The truth is, discipline is the key to unlocking your potential. It's the thing that transforms dreams into reality. Without it, your goals will remain just that, goals. But with discipline, those goals become your reality. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being the most talented. It's about being the one who shows up consistently, no matter what. When you choose discipline, you choose success. When you choose discipline, you choose to become the best version of yourself. The life you want is waiting for you, but only discipline can unlock the door. Keep showing up, keep doing the work, and watch how your life transforms. Chapter 4: Shift your mindset from fixed to growth to unlock your fullest potential. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. It's like opening the door to a whole new world of possibilities. You see, how you perceive your abilities and intelligence dictates how you approach challenges and setbacks. A fixed mindset keeps you trapped in the belief that your talents are set in stone. It tells you that if you're not naturally good at something, it's not worth pursuing. But the moment you shift to a growth mindset, you realize that everything can be learned. Every failure becomes an opportunity for growth, and every challenge becomes an invitation to improve. Imagine this: you're faced with a challenge that feels overwhelming. Your initial instinct might be to avoid it, to run away from it, because the fear of failure seems so much greater than the possibility of success. But with a growth mindset, you don't fear failure, you embrace it. You understand that failure is simply feedback. A way for you to adjust and move closer to your goals. Instead of seeing failure as something final, you begin to see it as part of the process. You shift from thinking, "I can't do this," to "I can't do this yet," and that single word, "yet," makes all the difference. This shift isn't just about the words you use, though the language matters. It's about truly internalizing the belief that you are capable of learning and growing. It's about realizing that every effort you make, no matter how small, is adding up, even if you don't see the results immediately. The people who succeed, the ones who achieve greatness, are not necessarily the ones with the most talent, they're the ones who persist. The ones who keep going no matter how many times they fall. They understand that every setback is not a sign to quit but a sign to double down and keep learning. The journey from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset doesn't happen overnight, it's a process. But the most important part is starting. The moment you decide to shift your mindset, you're already on the path. It's like planting a seed. At first, there's no visible sign of growth, but you know that with time, that seed will grow into something much greater. The same goes for your growth mindset. At first, it might feel awkward. You may catch yourself slipping back into the old patterns of thinking, but the more you practice it, the more it becomes second nature. One of the most liberating realizations you can have is that your abilities are not fixed. You are not stuck with what you know today. No matter where you are in life, no matter what challenges you face, you have the power to grow. Your brain is designed to change. Neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, proves that we are capable of learning and adapting at any age. The more you stretch your mind, the more it expands, and that expansion is limitless. But this shift requires more than just positive thinking. It requires action. A growth mindset is not just about hoping for improvement, it's about taking steps, embracing discomfort, and moving forward even when you don't feel ready. When you step outside of your comfort zone, when you challenge yourself to learn something new, you're not just growing your skills, you're changing your brain. You're rewiring it to handle more, to handle better, and to handle greater challenges with ease. It's through this active engagement that your mindset transforms. Think about the first time you learned something new. Maybe it was learning to ride a bike or play a musical instrument. At the beginning, it was awkward, frustrating, and full of mistakes. You fell off the bike, you hit wrong notes. But you didn't quit. You kept going because you understood that the more you practiced, the better you would get. This is how you should approach every challenge in life. Don't expect to be perfect right away. Embrace the struggle, the mistakes, and the setbacks as part of the process. They are not signs that you're failing, they're signs that you're growing. One of the most powerful ways to nurture a growth mindset is to constantly remind yourself of the power of yet. When you face a challenge, instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I can't do this yet." It's a simple shift in language, but it opens up so much potential. It tells your mind that this is not the end, that you have the ability to grow and improve. It's a mindset of possibility, of hope, and of resilience. When you adopt this mindset, you start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You start to see potential where others see limits, and this shift in perspective can be a game changer in every area of your life. But there's a key factor here that often gets overlooked: effort. A growth mindset requires effort. It's not enough to just believe that you can grow, you have to put in the work. Effort is what turns potential into achievement. It's the consistent, focused energy you pour into your goals that leads to progress. You can't expect to improve without putting in the time and energy. And the effort doesn't have to be perfect. The key is consistency. Little by little, step by step, those efforts compound into significant progress over time. You'll look back and realize how much you've grown, even when it felt like nothing was changing. Another crucial aspect of a growth mindset is the way you approach challenges. Most people see challenges as roadblocks, as things to be avoided. But people with a growth mindset see challenges as opportunities to expand. When you face a challenge, don't ask yourself, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience?" That's the mindset that keeps you moving forward, that keeps you progressing no matter what life throws at you. Challenges are not obstacles, they are stepping stones toward the person you're becoming, and let's not forget about the power of feedback. In a fixed mindset, feedback is seen as criticism. It's hard to hear that you're not doing well, and it's easy to take it personally, but in a growth mindset, feedback is a gift. It's information, it's a tool to help you improve. The more you embrace feedback, the more you'll learn. It's not about being perfect, it's about being open, humble, and willing to adjust and improve. When you see feedback this way, it no longer feels like a setback, it feels like a stepping stone toward mastery. If you want to build a growth mindset, you have to start viewing yourself as a work in progress, not a finished product. You are constantly evolving, your abilities are not fixed. Your potential is limitless. The moment you accept this, you open yourself up to a world of possibility. Every challenge becomes an opportunity, every failure a lesson, and every success a testament to the power of growth. So how do you start embracing this mindset today? Start by recognizing when you're slipping into a fixed mindset. Pay attention to the negative self-talk, the thoughts that tell you you're not good enough or that you can't improve. Challenge those thoughts. Replace them with thoughts of growth. Remind yourself that you are capable of learning, capable of adapting, and capable of overcoming. Every time you face a challenge, remind yourself, "I can't do this yet," and with that simple shift, you will begin to transform your entire life. You'll move from being someone who limits themselves to someone who understands their boundless potential. A growth mindset isn't just about believing in your ability to learn, it's about putting that belief into action. It's about showing up, doing the work, and embracing the discomfort of growth. When you do this, you'll find that the impossible becomes possible. You'll see yourself achieving things you once thought were out of reach, and that's the true power of a growth mindset. It turns what was once a limitation into an opportunity for growth, and that, my friend, is where the magic happens. Chapter 5: Cultivate emotional resilience. When life throws you curveballs, when the pressure is on, when things don't go according to plan, that's when your true character is forged. The strength to rise above challenges and setbacks, to keep going when everything feels like it's falling apart, is rooted in something deep within you. It's called emotional resilience, and it's one of the most powerful tools you can possess on your journey toward growth and success. Now, resilience isn't about never feeling pain or never facing hardship. It's not about pretending that everything is fine when it's not. Resilience is about how you respond to the challenges life presents. It's about acknowledging the difficulty but choosing not to let it control you. It's about being knocked down but getting up stronger each time. It's understanding that emotions are part of the process, but they don't have to define your journey. You've likely faced moments in your life where things didn't go the way you wanted. Maybe you lost a job, or a relationship fell apart, or something else just didn't go as planned. And in those moments, it can feel like the world is against you. It's easy to think, why me, or I can't handle this. But the truth is, these moments aren't the end, they're just the beginning. Resilience isn't about being invincible. It's about acknowledging that life isn't always easy but choosing to stand tall in the face of it. It's about knowing that no matter how many times you fall, you have the strength within you to rise again. One of the most important aspects of building emotional resilience is shifting your perspective. When something difficult happens, it's easy to see it as a sign that you're not cut out for success. But in reality, challenges are the moments that help you grow the most. Think about it, the moments that challenge you, that push you to your limits, are often the ones that teach you the most about yourself. They force you to dig deep to find strength you didn't even know you had. What you may not realize is that the more you face adversity, the stronger and longer your resilience becomes. The more you endure, the more you learn how to navigate through tough times. It's like building muscle at the gym. You don't become stronger by avoiding weight, you become stronger by lifting it. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to build that muscle, and each time you overcome a setback, you gain more confidence in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. But let's be real, resilience doesn't come easy. It requires effort, persistence, and a willingness to face discomfort. And that discomfort is often what people avoid the most. It's easier to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid the pain, to avoid the risk of failure. But here's the thing, you cannot grow in comfort. Growth comes from the challenges you face and the way you respond to them. It's not about avoiding difficulty, it's about learning to navigate them with strength and grace. So how do you build emotional resilience? The first step is accepting that life will bring you challenges. This might sound obvious, but many people don't realize how much resistance they're holding on to. When things get tough, they want to deny or avoid their feelings instead of embracing them. They think, if I ignore this, maybe it will go away, but the truth is, the more you resist, the more you prolong your suffering. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to defeat. It simply means acknowledging that you're facing something difficult and giving yourself permission to feel it. When you stop resisting, you allow yourself to process your emotions fully, and that's where the healing begins. After acceptance comes action. The next step in building emotional resilience is to take action. Even when you don't feel like it, it's easy to stay stuck in the negative feelings that come with adversity, anger, frustration, sadness. But the key to resilience is pushing through those emotions and taking steps forward, no matter how small. Even if you don't have it all figured out, taking one small action is often enough to break the cycle of negative thinking, whether it's reaching out for support, learning something new, or simply taking care of your mental and physical health. The act of moving forward is what propels you out of the storm and into clearer skies. Another important aspect of resilience is having a support system. No one is truly resilient in isolation. Whether it's friends, family, or mentors, having people around you who believe in you, who can lift you up when you're feeling low, makes all the difference. Resilience isn't just about enduring things on your own, it's about knowing when to ask for help, when to lean on others for strength. And the best part? You don't have to face every challenge by yourself. You don't have to go it alone. Life is about connection, and emotional resilience grows exponentially when you have a support system that encourages you and reminds you of your strength when you forget. One powerful tool for building emotional resilience is the practice of mindfulness. In moments of intense emotion, our minds tend to race with thoughts. worries, and fears. Mindfulness helps you center yourself in the present moment, allowing you to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting overwhelmed by them. It's about creating space between what you feel and how you react. Instead of letting your emotions dictate your actions, you begin to have the power to choose how you respond. You learn to sit with discomfort instead of running from it, and in doing so, you build emotional strength. Resilience also involves embracing the idea that setbacks do not define you. Just because you experience a failure doesn't mean you are a failure. It's easy to internalize setbacks, to believe that because something didn't go your way, it's a reflection of your worth or ability. But failure is not your identity, it's just a part of the process. Remember, the most successful people didn't get there by never failing. They got there because they failed, learned from it, and kept going. And that's the essence of resilience, being able to fail, get back up, and keep moving forward. It's also important to remind yourself that you are allowed to feel your emotions fully. Emotional resilience doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring your feelings. It means acknowledging them without letting them control your actions. It means giving yourself permission to feel sad, frustrated, or angry, but also recognizing that you have the strength to move beyond those feelings. You don't have to be defined by your emotions. You are not weak for feeling them, you are strong for allowing them and moving through them with grace. Lastly, resilience is deeply rooted in self-belief. You have to believe that no matter how many times life knocks you down, you have the strength to rise again. You have to trust in your ability to overcome challenges, even when it seems impossible. The more you practice this self-belief, the stronger it becomes. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build every time you face a challenge and choose to rise. Life will continue to throw challenges your way, that's a given. But you have the power to choose how you respond. You can either let those challenges define you, or you can let them refine you. Emotional resilience is the key that allows you to bounce back stronger, wiser, and more capable with every obstacle you face. And remember, every time you get back up, you're building not just your resilience but your character and your future. So keep going, keep rising, because no matter what life throws your way, you've got the strength to handle it. And that strength is the foundation of all your success. Chapter 6: Own your habits, own your life. When you stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions, when you embrace the truth that everything in your life, every aspect of your success or failure, is a direct result of your actions and choices, the power to change your circumstances, to transform your reality, lies within your habits. Yes, those small daily actions, the ones you might overlook or brush off as insignificant, are the keys to the life you desire. The truth is, how you live each day is a direct reflection of how you're shaping your future. We all have routines, whether we realize it or not. The problem is, many of us have developed habits that aren't serving us. We've created patterns of behavior that keep us stuck in the same place, wishing for change but not doing anything to make it happen. It's easy to look at someone who is successful, someone who seems to have it all together, and think they're just lucky, that they were born with something I don't have. But that's a lie. The truth is, those successful individuals have built the habits that lead to success. They've learned how to focus their energy on the things that matter, and they've done so consistently over time. The moment you take full ownership of your habits, you step into your power. You stop blaming external circumstances for your current situation and start looking at what you can do today to create a better tomorrow. Your habits are the foundation of your life, and if you want to create lasting change, it all starts with owning them. There's no magic formula, no secret that successful people are holding on to that you can't access. It's about taking full responsibility for your actions and decisions, no matter how big or small. It's easy to be seduced by the allure of quick fixes or shortcuts in a world where we're constantly bombarded with messages about how to hack our way to success. It can be tempting to think there's an easier path, but the reality is success is a result of consistent small actions taken over time. If you want to truly transform your life, you have to focus on the daily decisions that you make. You have to be intentional about what you're doing every single day because those small, seemingly insignificant actions add up to something much bigger. Here's the thing about habits, they compound. Every small habit you establish creates momentum, and momentum creates progress. The problem is most people don't see results right away, so they give up. They start something new, get a little discouraged when the big results don't show up immediately, and quit. But if you stick with it, if you commit to those small actions, you'll start to see the change. It might take a little while for the shift to become noticeable, but when it does, you'll realize that it wasn't magic, it was consistency. Take a moment and think about the habits you currently have. Are they moving you closer to the person you want to become? Or are they holding you back? Most of us go through life on autopilot, doing the same things day in and day out without ever considering how those habits are affecting our future. But once you start paying attention to your daily actions, you'll begin to realize just how much power you have. The key is to make sure your habits align with the life you want to create. If you're not happy with where you are, it's time to change what you're doing every day. Building positive habits aren't about making huge, drastic changes all at once. It's about starting small and building gradually. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight, you just need to pick one thing to focus on and then commit to improving it each day. Whether it's waking up earlier, eating healthier, exercising, or working on your personal development, choose something that will move you in the direction of your goals. Don't try to change everything at once because that's a surefire way to overwhelm yourself and give up. Start small and let each small win fuel the next. Now, as you begin to establish new habits, there's something incredibly important that you need to remember: habits are hard to change. And they often resist us. If you've spent years ingraining certain behaviors into your life, it won't be easy to break free from them. But don't let that stop you. Every time you choose to take a different action, you're reprogramming your brain. You're rewiring your life. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first. You're going to have to fight against the inertia of your old habits. But every day that you show up and put in the effort, you're strengthening the new habits that will, ultimately, change your life. It's crucial to create an environment that supports the habits you're trying to build. If you're trying to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in your house. If you're trying to exercise more, lay out your workout clothes the night before so there's no excuse. Your environment has a huge impact on your habits, and by intentionally designing your surroundings to support your goals, you make it easier to take the actions that will move you forward. If your environment is chaotic or disorganized, it becomes harder to build the habits that you want. But if you create an environment that's conducive to success, you'll be more likely to stick with it. Another powerful tool. In building lasting habits, accountability is key. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when no one else is watching, but when you have someone holding you accountable, you're more likely to stay on track. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or even an online community, having someone to check in with can make all the difference. They can offer support, encouragement, and a little extra motivation when you need it most. And if you don't have anyone in your life who can hold you accountable, find a way to create that structure for yourself. You're far more likely to succeed and you know there's someone or something holding you to your commitments. As you continue to focus on building the habits that will lead you to success, keep in mind that setbacks are part of the journey. You're going to slip up. You're going to miss a day here or there. That's okay. The key is to not let those slip-ups derail your progress. Don't let one mistake convince you that you're a failure. Get back on track the next day and keep moving forward. The most successful people are the ones who keep going, no matter how many times they stumble along the way. The journey to mastering your habits and owning your life is ongoing. It's not something that happens overnight, but over time, the small, consistent actions you take will begin to accumulate. You'll start to see the results in your personal growth, your career, your relationships, and every other area of your life. The truth is, when you own your habits, you own your life. You have the power to create the reality you want, and that power is in your daily actions. The more you show up for yourself, the more your future will reflect the success you're building right now. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Start today. Take ownership of your habits and watch as your life begins to transform. Chapter 7: Focus on your health, the mind-body connection. There's something incredibly powerful that happens when you start taking your health seriously. It's not just about looking good or feeling good in the moment, it's about building a foundation that carries you through life, one that supports not just your body but also your mind and spirit. When you commit to improving your health, everything changes. You begin to show up differently in every area of your life. You become more energetic, more focused, and more resilient. The truth is, your health is your greatest asset. Without it, everything else falls apart. But when you take control of your well-being, you unlock a whole new level of strength, confidence, and clarity. In the fast-paced world we live in, it's easy to let our health take a back seat. We get busy, we prioritize work or social commitments, and before we know it, we're neglecting the one thing that sustains us, our body. But what if you realized that your health directly impacts your ability to achieve everything you want in life? What if you understood that the more you take care of your body, the more it takes care of you in return? Imagine how much more you could accomplish if you had the energy and mental clarity to tackle everything on your to-do list. If you were feeling physically strong enough to pursue your passions without being held back. The truth is, your mind and body are deeply connected. Your thoughts, your emotions, your energy, they all influence your physical state. And your physical health influences your mindset, your ability to concentrate, and your emotional resilience. The mind-body connection is real, and it's stronger than we often give it credit for. When you're healthy, you think more clearly. When you take care of your body, your mental state improves. And when your mind is sharp and clear, you're able to make better decisions, solve problems more effectively, and navigate challenges with grace. If you've ever felt stuck or sluggish, like you're running on empty, chances are your physical health might be the root cause. When your body isn't functioning at its best, it affects every part of your life. It's like trying to drive a car with low fuel. No matter how hard you push the pedal, you're not going to get far. But when you fuel your body with the right foods, when you give it the movement and rest it needs, you're giving yourself the best possible foundation for success. One of the most important things you can do for your health is to move your body. Exercise isn't just about losing weight or building muscle, it's about giving your body the energy it needs to perform at its peak. Think about it this way: you wouldn't try to run a marathon without training, so why would you expect your body to function well if you're not taking care of it regularly? Physical activity doesn't have to mean hitting the gym for hours every day. It can be as simple as taking a walk, practicing yoga, or dancing to your favorite music. The key is consistency. The more you move, the more your body responds by becoming stronger, healthier, and more resilient. But it's not just about exercise. Your nutrition plays a massive role in how you feel on a daily basis. The food you eat directly impacts your energy levels, your focus, and your mood. When you fuel your body with nutritious whole foods, you're giving it the raw materials it needs to function at its best. On the other hand, when you fill up on processed junk, your energy crashes, your mind gets foggy, and you're left feeling sluggish. The choice is yours. You can either nourish your body with the right foods, or you can continue to treat it like an afterthought, ignoring its needs until it finally demands your attention in the form of fatigue, illness, or burnout. Making healthy choices doesn't have to be complicated. It's about being mindful of what you put into your body and understanding how it affects your well-being. Start by drinking more water. Most people are chronically dehydrated without even realizing it. Hydration is key to staying energized and maintaining focus throughout the day. Next, aim to eat more fruits and vegetables. They're packed with the vitamins and minerals your body needs to thrive. And don't forget about protein. your body needs it to repair tissues, build muscle, and keep your immune system strong. If you start making small changes like these, you'll begin to notice a big difference in how you feel. Rest is another critical component of health that we often overlook. We live in a society that glorifies hustle and productivity. But rest and recovery are just as important as work. When you're constantly pushing yourself to the limit, eventually you'll hit a wall. Your body and mind need time to recharge. Sleep is a non-negotiable part of this process. It's during sleep that your body heals, your mind processes the day's events, and your energy is replenished. So don't skimp on sleep, prioritize it like you would any other important task. If you're not getting enough rest, no amount of exercise or healthy eating will make up for it. Let's not forget about mental health. Your mindset plays a massive role in your overall well-being. When you're stressed, anxious, or mentally overwhelmed, it takes a toll on your body. Your muscles tense up, your breathing becomes shallow, and your energy dips. On the flip side, when you practice mental wellness through mindfulness, meditation, or simply taking time to relax and breathe, you can reduce stress and improve your physical health. Taking care of your mind is just as important as taking care of your body. They work together, and when one is out of balance, the other suffers. We often think of health as just physical, something you can see and measure. But true health is holistic. It's a balance between the body, the mind, and the emotions. When you take care of all three, you create a foundation that allows you to live life with energy, focus, and clarity. You begin to show up as the best version of yourself in every area of your life. Your health becomes the source of your strength, and it fuels you to take on the challenges and opportunities that come your way. Taking control of your health isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about taking consistent steps toward better habits, one day at a time. It's about showing yourself grace when you slip up and recommitting to your health goals each day. Remember, small changes lead to big results, and the more you focus on your health, the more you'll realize that it's the key to unlocking everything else you want in life. When you prioritize your health, everything shifts. You become more present, more energized, and more focused. You move through life with confidence, knowing that you're taking care of the most important asset you have, yourself. So make the decision today to take charge of your health. Your future self will thank you for it. Your energy, your mind, and your body will be better for it. And as you move forward, you'll find that success doesn't just happen, it's the result of taking consistent, intentional care of the foundation that supports you, your health. Chapter 8: Embrace Continuous Learning. The world we live in is constantly changing, evolving, and expanding, and one thing that sets successful people apart from the rest is their ability to adapt and keep learning. Every single day, there is something new to discover, something new to try, and a new opportunity to grow. Imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you committed to never stopping your learning journey, to always seeking out knowledge and skills that will not only elevate your life but also enrich the lives of those around you. It's a mindset shift, one that will open doors to countless opportunities and personal growth. Learning is a powerful tool, it's like the engine that drives everything forward. Without it, you're stuck in place, but with it, you're unstoppable. The beauty of continuous learning is that it doesn't matter where you are in life or what you've achieved, there is always more to explore, always something to improve on, always a new perspective to gain. It's about pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone and breaking through the limitations that have been self-imposed or imposed by others. Learning isn't confined to classrooms or books, it's all around you. Life itself is a classroom, and every person you meet, every experience you have, is an opportunity to learn. The key to success is tapping into this mindset and making the conscious decision to never stop expanding your knowledge and skill set. When you stop learning, you stop growing, and when you stop growing, you begin to shrink. It's like planting a seed in the ground. If you don't water it, nurture it, and let it receive sunlight, it won't bloom, it will remain stagnant. But if you consistently feed it, give it attention, and expose it to what it needs to thrive, it will grow into something beautiful and strong. The same principle applies to your mind and your life. You must constantly expose yourself to new ideas, new concepts, and new experiences if you want to continue thriving. It doesn't matter how old you are, how much you know, or how much success you've already achieved, there is always room for growth. Learning doesn't have to be formal or complicated. It doesn't require sitting in a classroom for hours or completing a degree. In fact, some of the most powerful forms of learning happen in the simplest moments of your everyday life. Take a walk and observe the world around you. Have a conversation with someone from a different background or perspective. Read a book or listen to a podcast. There's so much information out there just waiting for you to absorb it. Learning can be as easy as dedicating a few minutes a day to exploring something new. That's the beauty of it, it doesn't require hours of your time or an enormous effort. It just takes consistency and an open mind. Another powerful way to integrate learning into your life is by developing the habit of asking questions. Curiosity is the key to deep learning. When you cultivate a curious mindset, you start to see the world differently. You start to question things instead of just accepting them as they are. This shift in perspective opens up a world of knowledge that you may have never considered before. Asking questions doesn't just apply to the things you don't know, it applies to the things you think you already know. Challenge yourself to look deeper, to explore beyond the surface level. The more questions you ask, the more answers you'll uncover, and with each new answer comes a new question, creating an endless cycle of growth and discovery. You'll also find that learning becomes even more powerful when you start applying what you've learned. Knowledge without application is like a locked treasure chest. It's all there, but it's of no use unless you open it. The true magic of learning happens when you take what you've discovered and use it to improve your life. This could mean learning a new skill that boosts your career, picking up a new habit that helps you feel healthier, or adopting a new mindset that leads to greater success. Learning should always be followed by action because it's only through action that knowledge becomes meaningful and transformative. But perhaps the most transformative aspect of continuous learning is how it changes your mindset. As you expose yourself to new ideas and experiences, you begin to see the world in a whole, new light. Your perspective shifts, and you start to realize that everything is connected. The more you learn, the more you see how much more there is to discover. The more you grow, the more you realize that there's no such thing as a finish line. There's no moment when you've arrived and know everything there is to know. There's always something more to explore, more to discover, and more to become. This mindset of perpetual growth creates a ripple effect in your life. It spills over into your relationships, your career, and your personal pursuits. You start to see challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities to learn. Every failure becomes a lesson, and every success becomes a stepping stone to the next level. Learning helps you stay adaptable and resilient, which are two of the most important traits you can have as you navigate the ups and downs of life. There's something incredibly empowering about knowing that you have the power to shape your future through learning. It's not something that happens to you, it's something you create for yourself. Every new skill you master, every book you read, every conversation you have adds to your personal arsenal, making you more capable and more prepared for whatever life throws at you. It's not about being the smartest person in the room, it's about being the most curious, the most adaptable, and the most willing to continue growing. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that learning is something for the young, something for those who are still finding their way. But the reality is, learning is a lifelong journey. The most successful and fulfilled people are those who never stop exploring, who never stop asking questions, and who never stop striving to improve themselves. Whether you're 20 or 60, the journey of learning is always ongoing. And with each new piece of knowledge, you gain more clarity about who you are and who you want to become. The key is to make learning a daily habit. It doesn't matter if you dedicate 5 minutes or 5 hours, what matters is that you show up consistently with an open mind and a desire to improve. It's like planting seeds every day. Some of those seeds will grow quickly, others will take time, but as long as you keep planting, you'll eventually build a garden of knowledge, growth, and success. So make the decision today to embrace the journey of continuous learning. Seek out new ideas, challenge your assumptions, and apply what you've learned to your life. When you do this, you unlock your full potential and open yourself up to a world of possibility. The more you learn, the more you grow, and the more you grow, the more you become the person you were always meant to be. Your future is shaped by the lessons you're learning today. Don't let a single one go to waste. Chapter 9: Nurture Meaningful Relationships. The journey to success, fulfillment, and happiness is never a solo endeavor. It's woven through the fabric of the people around you, the relationships you build, nurture, and grow. The connections we form with others have the power to shape our lives in ways that we often fail to realize. We live in a world where, at times, it's easy to become consumed with our own ambitions, desires, and goals. We think that if we focus on ourselves and our own progress, we can create the life we've always dreamed of. While personal growth is undeniably essential, it's important to remember that life becomes richer and more meaningful when we build and invest in relationships that are supportive, nurturing, and uplifting. When you take a step back and think about it, you realize that relationships, both personal and professional, form the foundation for much of your success and happiness. They help you grow, challenge you to be better, and provide a sense of belonging. These connections serve as your support system during tough times and celebrate with you during moments of victory. The people around you, whether they're friends, family, mentors, or colleagues, are the mirrors that reflect who you are and who you are becoming. And when you intentionally surround yourself with individuals who inspire and empower you, you increase your chances of success and fulfillment exponentially. It's easy to overlook the power of relationships because we get caught up in the idea of doing it all on our own. There's a sense of pride in pushing through adversity by yourself, in believing that you can handle everything on your own. But what if we changed our mindset and saw relationships not as distractions or obligations but as essential parts of our journey? What if we recognized that every meaningful relationship we have contributes to our growth in ways we may never fully understand? Relationships are not just about having someone to share your life with, they're about growing together, supporting one another, and building a community of people who are invested in each other's success. When you focus on nurturing meaningful relationships, you begin to understand the importance of giving as much as you receive. A strong relationship, whether it's with a friend, family member, or colleague, requires effort from both sides. It's not about what you can get out of the relationship but rather about what you can offer. When you give of yourself, your time, your energy, your compassion, you create a positive reciprocal dynamic that strengthens the bond. Imagine what it feels like to have someone truly present in your life, someone who listens without judgment, who supports your dreams, and who pushes you to be the best version of yourself. That's the kind of relationship you should aim to cultivate. This isn't just about having a handful of close friends or a romantic partner, it extends to all types of relationships in your life. The relationship you have with your colleagues, for instance, plays a pivotal role in your professional growth. A healthy work environment built on trust, respect, and collaboration can propel you forward in ways that go beyond skills and experience. Relationships at work can introduce you to new opportunities, expand your network, and provide mentorship and guidance when you need it most. If you've ever had a mentor or a colleague who believed in you before you believed in yourself, you know the transformative power of supportive relationships. On the other hand, toxic relationships, whether personal or professional, can drain your energy and stunt your growth. These are the relationships that demand more than they give, that make you feel small or insignificant, or that leave you constantly questioning your worth. Recognizing toxic relationships and choosing to distance yourself from them is one of the most empowering decisions you can make. You have the power to decide who you allow into your life, and it's essential to surround yourself with people who uplift you, not tear you down. Sometimes, the most self-loving thing you can do is to set boundaries and walk away from relationships that don't serve your growth. Building meaningful relationships doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time, effort, and intentionality. The key is to approach every relationship with authenticity, vulnerability, and a genuine desire to understand and support the other person. Whether you're reconnecting with an old friend, getting to know a new colleague, or strengthening the bond with a family member, be present. Show up with your heart and mind open, listen with intent, be willing to share your true self, and allow others to do the same. Trust that when you give the best of yourself, you'll attract the same energy in return. One of the most profound ways to nurture relationships is through communication. It's not just about talking, it's about understanding, connecting, and truly listening to one another. When was the last time you sat down with someone and had a conversation that didn't revolve around work, to-do lists, or surface-level pleasantries? Real conversations are built on vulnerability and trust, where both parties feel safe enough to share their thoughts, fears, dreams, and struggles. These kinds of conversations are the ones that deepen connections and create lasting bonds. They are the ones that help you learn and grow together. If you want to surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, you must also challenge yourself to be the type of person who challenges others. Growth is a two-way street, and a truly meaningful relationship is one where both individuals are committed to helping each other level up. Seek out relationships with people who inspire you, people who have qualities or perspectives that you admire, and people who encourage you to push past your limits. At the same time, be that person for someone else. Be the one who believes in their potential, who helps them see possibilities they didn't know existed, and who shows up for them when they need it most. Think about the most fulfilling relationships in your life. What makes them special? Is it the way they support you in your dreams? Is it the way they push you to be better? Is it the way they share in your joys and help you navigate your challenges? Relationships are not about perfection. They're about connection. They're about being there for one another not just during the good times, but especially during the difficult ones. When you build meaningful relationships, you create a foundation of support that can withstand anything life throws your way. And when you invest in these relationships, you'll find that the benefits extend far beyond your personal life. Relationships impact your professional success, your mental and emotional well-being, and your overall sense of fulfillment. They help you grow, learn, and expand your horizons. They remind you that you're not alone in this journey and that there are people who truly care about your success, happiness, and well-being. At the end of the day, life is about the connections we make and the people we choose to spend our time with. Don't wait until you're at a crossroads in life to realize the importance of meaningful relationships. Start now. Take the time to cultivate genuine, supportive connections and watch how they transform your life. When you focus on building and nurturing relationships, you build a life that's rich with love, support, and purpose. And that, in the end, is the true measure of success. Chapter 10: Take imperfect action every day. Every journey of transformation starts with one step. It doesn't matter how big your dreams are, how ambitious your goals may be, or how much potential you know you have inside of you, if you don't take that first step, all the plans, all the hopes, and all the intentions in the world won't bring you any closer to the life you've imagined. Action is the catalyst for change. Without it, progress is just a fantasy. So, when you're faced with the mountain of your dreams, it's time to realize that the only way to scale that peak is by taking imperfect action every single day. We've all been there. We've all felt the weight of hesitation, that fear of making the wrong move, the concern that we might fail or fall short. But here's the truth: the fear of imperfection is often what holds us back the most. We've been taught to wait for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, the perfect set of circumstances. But guess what? The perfect moment never comes. Waiting for the stars to align is a fool's errand. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready, and it doesn't care if you think the timing is right. What life cares about is whether or not you show up, take action, and keep going even when things aren't perfect. Think about the times when you've pushed past the fear and taken action despite your doubts. Maybe it was starting a new project, learning a new skill, or even having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Did it go perfectly? Probably not. But you did it, and that's where growth happens. Action, no matter how messy or imperfect, propels you forward. Every time you take a step, no matter how small, you're moving closer to where you want to be. The key is to stop waiting for conditions to be ideal. Stop waiting for the right moment. The best time to act is always now, not next week, not tomorrow, but right now. And the beauty of imperfect action is that it teaches you something valuable at every turn. You learn from mistakes, you adapt, and you grow stronger. The more you act, the more clarity you gain. Each step forward adds to your momentum, and with momentum comes confidence. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build through action. The more you show up for yourself, the more you prove to yourself that you can handle what's in front of you. Perfectionism is a trap that keeps you stuck. It's easy to get caught in the cycle of, I'll do it when I'm ready, or I'll wait until everything is in place. But you're never going to be completely ready, and your situation will never be perfectly aligned. If you wait for those conditions, you'll spend your life waiting. Success isn't about flawless execution. It's about resilience, persistence, and taking imperfect action in the face of uncertainty. Think about the people who inspire you. Do they have flawless paths? Have they never stumbled or made mistakes? Of course not. The difference between them and someone who never takes action is that they don't let fear or imperfection stop them. They move forward with confidence, even if they don't have all the answers. Another key component of imperfect action is the willingness to embrace the discomfort of not knowing exactly what's ahead. We live in a world where instant gratification is the norm. We want answers, solutions, and success right away. But real growth doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, and it often involves a lot of uncertainty. When you take action, you're stepping into the unknown, and that can be uncomfortable. But discomfort is a necessary part of growth. It's a sign that you're stretching beyond your current limits and reaching for something greater. One of the most powerful lessons you can learn is that it's okay to fail along the way. Failure isn't the end, it's simply feedback. Every time you stumble or face a setback, you're gaining valuable information that will help you do better next time. Embrace failure as a teacher, not as something to fear. Some of the greatest success stories in history are filled with failure after failure. What sets those individuals apart is their refusal to give up. They didn't let setbacks define them, they used them as fuel to keep going. The key is to view failure not as a reflection of your worth but as a natural part of the journey. So how do you cultivate the mindset of imperfect action? It starts with making a commitment to yourself that you will take action. No matter how small, every single day. Every day is an opportunity to move closer to your goals, no matter how imperfect the process may be. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to know exactly how it's all going to play out. You just need to show up, take that first step, and keep moving forward. It's also crucial to celebrate the small wins. Every bit of progress counts when you take action, even if it's just for a few minutes. Or in a small way, you're building momentum. Momentum is what turns small actions into big results over time. So instead of focusing on how far you have to go, celebrate how far you've come. Every step, no matter how small, is progress. And when you recognize and appreciate that progress, you'll find yourself more motivated to keep going. Another important aspect of taking imperfect action is learning how to manage self-doubt. It's natural to feel uncertain, especially when you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. But don't let that doubt hold you back. Acknowledge it, but don't let it dictate your actions. Remember that doubt is a normal part of the process. It doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It just means you're pushing yourself to grow. As you continue to take action, you'll notice that the fear begins to dissipate. The more you do, the more you'll realize that you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. You start to trust yourself more, knowing that you don't need to have all the answers right now. What you need is the courage to take that first step, to move forward despite the uncertainty, and to trust that you'll learn as you go. Imperfect action is not about being reckless or careless. It's about being proactive, taking ownership of your path, and trusting that each step you take is moving you in the right direction. It's about realizing that you don't need everything to be perfect to start. You just need the determination to begin and the perseverance to keep going. So when you find yourself waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan, remember that the perfect moment is now. The best thing you can do for your future is to take that first step, even if it feels imperfect. Because in the end, it's not perfection that will bring you success, it's action. Take that imperfect action every day and watch your life transform in ways you never thought possible.